You know that several of the families are upset about the idea that 1122 King Road was going to be demolished, right? And they made those concerns very evident to the university. One of the lawyers, now being retained by family members, actually communicated with the university. How do we know that? Because now a source connected to the university has given us the response, how the university responded to the family members through their lawyer, through their attorney. And what they wanted is not maybe necessarily what they're going to get. Not all the family members are on the same page, but the bulk of them, most of them are. They want preservation of evidence. They want the jury to be able to go on a go-see to this house if they so desire. One of the family members saw what happened in the Murdaugh case, followed the Murdaugh case, saw the jury go-see, and then more importantly, saw the conviction and thought, well, what bodes well down in South Carolina might bode well here in Idaho. Now the university has officially responded. And you might remember that the university just on March 24th sent all the family members a very kind letter with condolences and respect, letting them know the plan for the house. And that was back in March, okay? The plan then was, we plan to bring the house down likely by the end of semester. Please let us know if there's anything still inside the house you'd like us to get, barring any biohazards. We want to reunify you with your children's belongings. We're also going to clear many of those belongings out, bring them to a warehouse you can come and you can pick them up. That's post the original clearing of the house. Originally, items brought out, put into a U-Haul. Those were picked up by some family members. These are what's left in the house. Okay, that was the original letter. Now, this was the tone back then. It's my hope that the university's plan to remove the house helps in your healing. That's not how they felt. Many of the family members said no and sent an official request to the university saying, please keep it standing. So tonight I want to read you the entire text of what the university responded with, how they sent out a communique to the lawyer representing some of the family members. Okay, it says, thank you for your email and request for a meeting with myself and President Green. At this juncture, I intend to keep our communications at the level of correspondence between counsel. That means I won't meet with you. We're just going to speak lawyer to lawyer. I do want to inform you that I have determined to directly request from prosecution and defense counsel a formal indication whether they have any objection to demolition of the property as planned by the university. If there is any objection, I will ask that the issue be brought to the presiding judge for a determination whether the university should be stayed from demolition, and if so, whether the house should be placed back under the jurisdiction and protection of law enforcement. It's signed sincerely, K.N., and that's Kent Nelson, who is the acting general counsel for the University of Idaho. So, I mean, that's pretty direct, right? No, we're sorry for your loss, our condolences. Now it's just, hey, you've requested apparently a meeting. The university saying, we're not going to do a meeting with your counsel or at least with any family members that we know of. We're just going to communicate this way. And the way the university sees it, their next move now is to go directly to the prosecutors and directly to the defense and ask them if they have problems with a demolition of the house. And if either of those two parties brings up a problem, then the university says they will request that the judge be the arbiter. In all of this, a very unusual way. I don't really know where judges would come in on this. It's clearly there's a concern of the victims' family members that's evident in how they've responded here. So anyway, as we said, the house still stands boarded up. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.